So in this video, I'm talking about the very popular question, which is natty or not. And it's something that every single natural athlete, male or female, will have to deal with at some point in their career if they achieve any degree of excellence. The slightest accomplishment physically in terms of a physique is often thought of and looked upon with the idea that they must have used some sort of drugs or steroids to get where they are. The natural athlete has it hard because not only do we not get that much in terms of recognition, but we also have to deal with the onslaught of people telling us that we must be using something when we aren't. In this video, I'm going to talk about what I have done over the years and how I approach it and how I let it not so much get to me, because it is something that you're going to have to deal with if you decide to be natural. So stay tuned. I'll talk a little more about this. So in this video, I'm talking about the natty or not phenomenon, which I absolutely detest. But before I go any further, I'd like to thank everyone for tuning in, and especially those who say this is an excellent resource for anyone interested in training naturally. I really appreciate and thank you so much. Also, be sure to like and subscribe and hit that bell as well, so you're first in line to get the new content as the new content comes out. So on to today's topic, natty or not. In 2004, when I made my bodybuilding DVD, there weren't any natural athletes out there who were truly natural, putting anything out for the public to see what a really lifetime drug-free athlete would look like. At the time I was training at Fifth Avenue Gym, a very supportive atmosphere. It was perhaps at that time the mecca of natural bodybuilding. And being surrounded by other natural bodybuilders, it wasn't that big of a deal to see someone who is in remarkable shape, who didn't use drugs, never used drugs, and wouldn't consider using drugs. But when the DVD came out, and I posted it here on YouTube, actually, the amount of vitriol, hatred, and negativity that was sent my way was something that was completely overwhelming. In fact, in my regular life, I'm a big guy. I'm 6 feet tall. I'm over 200 pounds. No one ever comes up to me in my face and would make the accusation that I'm using drugs. And even more so, no one would question whether I was a natural athlete or not, while cursing me out and saying derogatory things about everything from my race to my physical appearance. It got really nasty, and it still is very nasty, because there are people out there who refuse to believe that it's possible for anyone to achieve any degree of physical excellence without using drugs. And it's understandable. In fact, the reason why I made my DVD was because there were so many people out there, athletes out there, who were claiming to be natural athletes, but weren't natural athletes because I knew for a fact that they use drugs. And at the competitions, they would talk about the fact that they use drugs, but publicly it was somehow or the other a secret because it was part of their marketing. And I get it. I totally get that even today we have so many really ultra famous men and women who claim to be natural, who everyone in the natural community look at and shake their heads and say, there's no way that person could ever be natural. And those people don't compete in drug tested competitions, obviously, because they're using drugs. And so there's this huge public idea that anyone who achieved some degree of excellence is on drugs. But I think the problem is that because the drug using bodybuilders and the drug using women and men who don't compete as well, but are popular on social media, because they have so much dominated the conversation, and there's so little in terms of seeing what natural bodybuilders really look like, it's pretty much assumed that anyone who achieves anything is on steroids. Like I said, to this day, it's always been part of my job to deal with people accusing me of using steroids when I don't. I simply don't. In fact, if I did use steroids and looked the way I do, I would want my money back. I would definitely want my money back 100% because there is no way that I could be using drugs and look the way I do. It's just completely impossible. And aside from that, I think that it's important to understand that when people do come to you and say that they're questioning your natural status and your status as a natural athlete, what you as an athlete have to be able to understand and deal with is the fact that you're dealing with that person's insecurity. You're dealing with their inability for them to achieve greatness because they're not doing the work and because they're not being consistent and because they don't believe in themselves. You're hearing their inner conversation with themselves about the fact that they don't believe in themselves, that they're projecting on to you. And as a natural athlete, you are the punching bag for every single man and woman who doesn't work hard and who doesn't put the effort and time into it and believes that somehow or the other, anyone who does anything and achieved any more than they did must therefore automatically be on drugs. And that's simply not true. And when someone insults me and says, Kevin, you must be on drugs. There's no way you can look like that without using drugs. And my response now is, I hear what you're saying, but I want you to listen to what you're saying and understand that I believe that if you did what I did, you'd be exactly where I am. If you put in the same amount of time that I put in, if you put in the same amount of intensity into the training, the same amount of dedication to eating a certain way, consistently with an integrity that's unshakable, you will achieve great things. When natural bodybuilders get together, we're happy to see each other go forward. I'm always trying to promote other natural bodybuilders and show the public how fantastic other natural bodybuilders can be. And I also want to share that with everybody else. If you are a natural athlete, you have to be secure in yourself. You have to be able to understand that even though you undertook this really difficult journey to do things the hard way, everyone isn't going to always believe you. And it's okay, because at the end of the day, we're doing it for ourselves. We're doing it for us. We're not doing it for anyone else. We do this. We follow the natural path because the natural path is a path of self-discovery. We're trying to learn more about ourselves. It's a personal, sacred undertaking and should not be ever led astray by the negativity that you may sometimes experience externally. You have to be solid on your path. You have to remember why you're doing it. You're doing it for yourself. And you can't be a natural bodybuilder and think you're going to have millions of followers and you're going to have tons of fame and you're going to be, cover of every magazine. That's just not how it is. We do this because we love to train. We do this because we love to eat a certain way. We do this because we love to feel a certain way. And that's really what the crux of it is. And the reward is the path itself. So next time someone questions your integrity as a natural athlete, next time someone says to you that the only way you could have achieved that much muscle, lost that much body fat, and looked the way you do is because you used a drug, don't put a positive or negative on it. Just keep on moving. Focus on yourself. Understand that it's inevitable and it's also part of the process. The things that are truly meaningful to achieve in life always come with some degree of hardship. As a natural athlete, that's just one of the hardships that we have to deal with. So if you're a natural athlete, stay the course. Let's treat each other nicely. Let's be kind to each other. Let's have a fitness arena where we're not trying to pull each other down all the time. Instead, not just lift the weights, but lift each other up. Thanks for listening, and Excelsior.